Right, shalom, shalom to the tour, try scatter the blood. It's about the Kadar Malak. Come back with another video. And this is a prayer for the destruction of your enemies and vengeance, and the Lord avenging Israel. Right, so I'm gonna kick it off. Right, with Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Babu Kashah, Babu Kashah, Babu Kashah, Salak, Rayim, Wa Abad, Wa Mawaf, La Kol Adawanyim, Wa Gawanyim, Babu Kashah, Babu Kashah, Babu Kashah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Salak, Masapad, La Ha Banath, Wa Ban Sha'or, Ha Gawanyim, Wa Naquam, Sha'ala, Sha'or, Ha Ayabyam, Wa Satan. Right? Lawamayam, Tamyad, the water, the water, the water. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Call Halor, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Allah Sha'or Yasha'Allah. Right? So that's the saying in the English tongue. Lord, in the name of the Son of God, send evils and destructions and death to all Edomites and Gentiles. Please, please, please. Yahweh send mourning to the daughter and son of the heathen and avenge Israel of the enemies, our adversary, which is Satan. Right? And also that Kohalor saying all praise to the Most High God, power of Israel, right? Because Allah just mean, power, Sha'or of, and Yasha'Allah is Israel. So let's go over some precepts, right? Because you got some Jake saying, you know what, you can't really pray for the downfall of the heathen. You got some doctrines, right? But you can do that, right? Let's go, Salakia. Let's go to this. Let's go to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 22 and verse 38. Right, let's go to verse 1. 2 Samuel 22 and verse 1. And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. So he's praying to the Most High God. He's singing these songs to him. Right, he's a psalmist. Right, let's go down to verse 38. It says, I have pursued mine enemies and destroyed them and turned not again until I had consumed them. And I have consumed them and wounded them, that they could not arise. Yea, they are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength to battle. Them that rose up against me, thou hast subdued under me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. So David is praying to the Most High and telling the Most High how you gave me my enemies and I destroyed them and I put them to death, right? So we not physically supposed to just be out here pulling out AKs and shooting Esau. This is to ask the Lord to bring these punishments upon them. Right? Because David did do that. Let's go to Psalms chapter 69 and verse 22. And it reads, it says, let their table become a snare before them, that they that which should have been that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. Pour out thine indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell in their tents. Right, this is all what David is saying, right, to these wicked, to the nations, to the heathen. He's asking the Lord to destroy them. He's saying, let their table be a snare, right? He's saying all these things. I'm going to keep reading. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell in their tents. For they persecute him whom thou hast smitten, and they talk to the grief of those whom thou hast wounded. Add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into thy righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living, and not be written with the righteous. So David was asking the Lord to do all these things to the wicked and to the heathen. Now, David is not just a regular guy, right? Let's go to 1 Kings 11 and verse 4. He had a perfect heart with the Most High God. This 1 Kings 11 verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. So the Lord, David had a perfect heart with the Most High, right? A man with a perfect heart wouldn't be getting judged for throwing up a punishment or death or a curse on these damn heathens, man. You can't curse your own brethren. You can't curse your own, your sisters, your akwatim. But you can throw up a curse on these heathens, man, because they're supposed to get their judgment, right? And you're supposed to ask the Lord to avenge you of these enemies, man. Right, let's get that real quick. Let's go to Luke 18. It's the book of Luke, Slakia. Luke chapter 18 In verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint. So we always supposed to be praying. Right? You kind of throw up a punishment on these devils, man, sometimes, man. Hey, I know brothers do that at camp, at the end of camp. So you're supposed to throw these punishments. That's how we get out of this place, man. And ask the Lord to get us out of here. How are we going to get out of here if the heathen is all well fed and, when they have the dew of heaven and they're endlessly being born? No. We're not going to never get the kingdom that way. They had to be cut down. They had to be going to war. They had to be getting these punishments from the Most High God on them. So we got to ask the Lord for that. Right, verse 2. It's a saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. Who is this? Who is this supposed? We supposed to be like this woman. Israel's personified is supposed to be like this woman. We supposed to ask the Most High to avenge us of our adversaries, avenge us of these damn devils, avenge us of paying tribute, avenge us of getting shot in the blood in the streets, avenge us of all the rape and the wicked fornication and all the things that they did to our foremothers, avenge us of all these wicked sins, avenge us of the spiritual demon Satan, man, avenge us of this corruptible seed in this flesh. We're supposed to ask the Lord and get on his nerves in a righteous sense, right, to avenge us. Verse 4, and he would not for a while, right? But afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard men, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And we got to kind of get on the Most High nerves on the right-hand side, man. We got to kind of, complain to the Most High. Right, let me get this real quick before I go back to Luke 18. Hey, David said he complained in this thing, man. Let's go to Psalm 77 and verse 3. It says, let's go to verse 1. It says, I cried